Happy February 19th. JLD here, and welcome to Strategy Today. In this show, we talk about no ATM this week, no problem. Convertible bonds are back, baby. 0% interest to the tune of over $2 billion. Michael Saylor is on fire. We talk about Howard Lutnick being confirmed as the Secretary of Commerce. That is so bullish for Bitcoin. That is so bullish for strategy. It's unbelievable. We talk about the exponential growth that MSTR is about to experience thanks to Adam Livingston. I have two amazing videos you don't want to miss. One's about the inevitability of Bitcoin treasury companies. And then I have this classic video for you. It's a 1997 interview with Jeff Bezos. It's so good. You want to watch this, believe me. And the similarities between e-commerce then and Bitcoin now, and what Michael Saylor is doing with strategy now to capitalize on what Jeff Bezos was capitalizing on with e-commerce back in 97, eerie. It's so amazing. So let's dive on in. As soon as I let you know that this is not financial advice whatsoever, and please do comment below where you're watching from. We love your comments, what you're thinking, where you're watching from. Let's have some conversations in the comment section, and let's dive on in. All right, our first post of the day comes from Michael Saylor, as you can see down here at the bottom. At 9:11 a.m. yesterday, he posted, last week, Strategy did not sell any shares of Class A common stock under its at-the-market equity offering program and did not purchase any Bitcoin. As of 2/17/2025, we hodled 478,740 Bitcoin acquired for $31.1 billion at $65,033 per Bitcoin. And I just want to take a second and say, how can you not love how transparent Saylor is, strategy is? I mean, to me, it's such a breath of fresh air. I've taken you to strategy.com before. I'm sure you visited on your own. They're just sharing everything. They're showing everything. The transparency is amazing. So I applaud you. The Bitcoin therapist says intelligent leverage, because guess what? At 4:04 p.m. yesterday, so later that same day, Michael Saylor wrote, Strategy announces proposed private offering of $2 billion of convertible senior notes. So this press release right here, I'll link it up in the show notes below if you want to read it. Incredibly exciting. And this $2 billion, it may end up being just $2 billion, or it may be oversubscribed. Only time will tell. But I have some things I want to talk with you about this. First is from Bitcoin Overflow. The MSTR CB season is back. $2 billion at 0%. Not going to lie, I did not think MSTR could get 0% with IV as low as it is. This bodes very well for the next few weeks. Will be interesting to see the conversion premium when full pricing is announced. So stay tuned for that. I wanted to share from BitStrategy. Strategy creditors have so much faith that our stock will go up in price, they're willing to lend us billions at 0% interest. Belief in Bitcoin is our business with a Bitcoin B. So this is so telling that the creditors are literally giving Michael Saylor billions of dollars and Strategy billions of dollars, and they know exactly what he's doing with it. That he's buying Bitcoin. They know he's buying Bitcoin. They are positive that he's doing it because he's doing it. And they're giving us the billions of dollars at 0% interest. And by us, of course, I mean Strategy. And of course, I mean us as shareholders benefiting from that incredible accretion that's going to happen to our Bitcoin yield, to our Bitcoin gain. So exciting. So these companies are doing it at 0% interest because they believe that Bitcoin is going up. Otherwise, why would you do this? You wouldn't. Great post by Adam Livingston. This marks the next leg in Strategy's self-reinforcing cycle. Debt issuance at zero cost, conversion premium absorbing dilution, and a direct pipeline to acquire more BTC. Volatility will surge. This is engineered reflexivity. The more Bitcoin they buy, the more bullish the thesis becomes. The game theory plays itself out. Oh, it is so fun to be a part of this game theory. I hope you guys are enjoying this game theory ride because it's just getting started. And Dan Hillary posts, it's all on the line. Very exciting time to be alive. And Dan, I completely agree. It is such an exciting time to be alive and along for this ride. This is such a bullish move, in my opinion. Michael Saylor posted this, and I love that he's so on board with it as well. Congratulations, Howard Lutnick, on your confirmation as Secretary of Commerce. Howard Lutnick owns hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin, which he has said on air multiple times that he believes that's going to billions and billions of dollars of Bitcoin, meaning that he believes that his hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin is going way up in value. And what did I announce in a very recent video? That Howard Lutnick and Canter Fitzgerald own an unbelievably high amounts of MSTR shares. They believe so much in Michael Saylor and strategy. And it's so excited to see that the people that are in place believe in Bitcoin, believe in strategy, believe in the future that we are just absolutely embarked upon. These are such exciting times. And hey, when you're bullish, why not just go for an Adam Livingston post? MSTR, why exponential growth is certain. My dearest children, remember, MSTR is an asymmetric call option on Bitcoin's inevitable monetary dominance. We are witnessing the greatest financial transformation in history. You need to understand there is no such thing as a legitimate bearish case for MSTR. This is because their dominance is a mathematical inevitability. Bitcoin is the hardest, scarcest asset ever created, and strategy has built-in asymmetric leverage. Big numbers equal bigger moves. Let's break this down into real numbers. This will shake the foundations of legacy finance as adoption continues. Bitcoin's market cap today, 1.9 trillion. Gold's market cap, 10 to 12 trillion. Global equities market, 100 plus trillion. Global bond market, 140 plus trillion. Total global wealth, over 500 trillion. Now, kiddos, what happens when Bitcoin, the apex predator of monetary assets, begins devouring these markets like a black hole of value? This is the final evolution of money. The 21 million fixed supply means price appreciation is an ironclad mathematical certainty. MSTR, the ultimate Bitcoin leverage play. Now let's apply this hyper monetization reality to strategy, MSTR. Strategy currently holds 478,740 Bitcoin. Bitcoin at 100,000, MSTR's holdings 47.87 billion. Bitcoin at 250,000, MSTR's BTC 119.68 billion, already pushing MSTR stock beyond $10,000 per share. Bitcoin at 500,000, MSTR's BTC 239 billion. MSTR stock targets $20,000 per share plus. Bitcoin at $1 million, 50,000 per share. 5 million, it's seven-figure stock territory. And this doesn't even account for the future of Bitcoin acquisitions. MSTR aggressively accumulates its asymmetric leverage, why MSTR will outperform BTC. MSTR is amplifying its gains. Why? Strategic debt financing allows MSTR to buy more Bitcoin at a faster rate than spot price appreciation. Institutions want Bitcoin exposure but can't hold Bitcoin directly, so they buy MSTR, driving its multiple higher. And this is going to continue to occur at faster rates. MSTR's moonshot price predictions. Short term, as Bitcoin approaches all-time highs, MSTR tracks with a 2 to 3x multiplier. Midterm, that's Bitcoin 250K. MSTR stock enters 5-digit territory. Long-term, Bitcoin at $1 million plus. MSTR joins the Tesla Amazon valuation club. Hyper Bitcoinization, 5 million plus for Bitcoin. MSTR's Bitcoin holdings exceed 2 trillion. MSTR stock could be 6 figures. As Bitcoin becomes the global monetary singularity, strategy, MSTR, will be the greatest trade of all time. Strap into the rocket ship, my dearest children. It's go time. There's Michael Saylor going to Mars. Let's finish with one simple line from Chris. Strategy is Bitcoin with benefits. Boom. Period. End of story. Now I have 2 great videos, one about Bitcoin treasuries being inevitable, and the other is that unbelievable interview with Jeff Bezos from back in 1997 about how e-commerce had so much potential, which of course he was right. And it sounds so similar to now Michael Saylor talking about Bitcoin's potential and so many other people talking about Bitcoin's potential and what strategy is doing to position itself, just like Amazon was doing to position itself. It's so exciting. We are so early. Gentlemen, take it away.
I expect this year to be an extremely positive year for the crypto markets, and my prediction will be it will be the year of the Bitcoin Treasury Company. And I say that because when you look at what's happened to corporations and the amount of cash that they sit on, the amount of stock buybacks that they do, my prediction is that they'll find in at least one company in every sector, and we're going to be actually engaging with companies to make this happen, that they'll put themselves on the Bitcoin standard, like a MicroStrategy, to say that unless we can deploy capital and earn a higher rate of return than owning Bitcoin, then we're actually going to put our cash towards Bitcoin, and that will ultimately fuel even higher Bitcoin prices.
Hi there, who are you?
I'm Jeff Bezos.
And what is your claim to fame?
I'm the founder of Amazon.com.
Where did you get an idea for Amazon.com?
Well, 3 years ago, I was in New York City working for a quantitative hedge fund when I came across the startling statistic that web usage was growing at 2,300% a year. So I decided I would try and find a business plan that made sense in the context of that growth. And I picked books as the first best product to sell online, which making a list of like 20 different products that you might be able to sell. And books were great as the first best because books are incredibly unusual in one respect, and that is that there are more items in the book category than there are items in any other category by far. Music is number 2. There are about 200,000 active music CDs at any given time. But in the book space, there are more than 3 million different books worldwide active and in print at any given time across all languages, more than 1.5 million in English alone. So when you have that many items, you can literally build a store online that couldn't exist any other way. And that's important right now because the web is still an infant technology. Basically right now, if you can do things using a more traditional method, you probably should do them using the more traditional method.
What kind of inventory do you keep?
We inventory the best-selling books. At any given time, we're inventorying in our own warehouse only a couple of thousand titles. And then we do almost in-time inventory for another 400,000 titles or so. We get those from a network of we order electronically from a network of wholesalers and distributors. We order those today. They're on our loading dock the next morning. Then for another 1.1 million titles, we get those directly from 20,000 different publishers, and those can take a couple of weeks to get. And then there are 1 million out-of-print books in our catalog. We have a catalog of 2.5 million books altogether. Those 1 million out-of-print books, some of them we can get and some of them we can't, but we find them if we can, and then we ship them to our customers. We do kind of a search on those.
What's almost-in-time inventory?
Almost-in-time inventory is the phrase we use to describe a whole selection of books that we offer. It's basically the things that are, below the 2,000th best-selling book up to the 400,000th best-selling book. Those are titles that we can get from a network of more than a dozen different wholesalers. So if a customer orders a book from us today, we order that book from our wholesalers today, and that book shows up on our loading dock the next morning, and then we can ship it to the customer.
They say one of the toughest things to do on the internet is to capture mind share. What was your secret? How did you do that?
Yeah, even more generally, I agree with you that capturing mind share on the internet is extremely difficult. Even more generally, it's the late 20th century, not just the internet. Capturing attention. Attention is the scarce commodity of the late 20th century. And one of the ways that you can do that, and it's the way that we did it, was by doing something new and innovative for the first time that actually has real value for the customer. That's a hard thing to do, but if you do that, then newspapers will write about what you're doing. Customers will tell other customers, and you'll get a huge sort of word of mouth fan out, and that can really drive and accelerate businesses. And that's what happened with us. In the first year of opening Amazon.com to the public, we didn't do any paid advertising, and all of our growth was fueled by word of mouth and media exposure.
I saw little ads at the bottom of the column of the New York Times.
That was our very first advertising. We don't do that anymore, but at the very beginning, we did little tiny ads at the bottom of the front page of the New York Times.
I thought that was very clever. It's sort of using a URL as a macro, because I read
that it expands.
We're a bookstore, click here.
Right. That's a great way to think of it.
And it worked very well, apparently.
I don't know. The problem with that kind of advertising is it's extremely difficult to track.
Put a different URL for every...
That's the problem, is that you want people to start to learn your URL, so you don't want to actually use a different one. And it's very easy. One of the great things about online ads, we do advertising today in maybe 40 different on different websites. We do banner ads, and that advertising is very easy to track in terms of knowing how effective it is. So we know for each piece of creative in each venue, not only how many click-throughs we get, but how many sell-throughs we get. and how many dollars of revenue it generates per ad dollar spent on that creative in that venue. And that is a sort of a marketer's nirvana in a certain sense.
Well, it's an exciting place to be on the web right now.
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, it's just incredible. This is what's really incredible about this is that this is day one. This is the very beginning. This is the Kitty Hawk stage of electronic commerce. We're moving forward in so many different areas, and lots of different companies are as well. And the late 20th century is just a great time to be alive. We're going to find out that I think a millennia from now, people are going to look back and say, wow, the late 20th century was really a great time to be alive on this planet.
And there you have it, another episode of Strategy Today. This video is not financial advice, but I do hope if you got value from this that you comment below. Let me know where you're watching from. Any comments, questions, thoughts that you have on what's going on right now in the Bitcoin world and strategies world. Great conversations are happening there for sure. Here is my purchase from yesterday of MSTR. I snagged it at $335, giving me a 0.628 share of MSTR. And this is on, the settlement date was February 19th, but the actual date of purchase was up here, February 18th. So exciting times, continuing to stack MSTR every single trading day of 2025, $210 worth as an homage to the number 21. And every Saturday, I give a full breakdown of the portfolio. So tune in this coming Saturday for that. And until then, please remember you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose those people wisely. I'm honored that I'm one of those 5, at least for this moment in time for you today. And as Michael Saylor says, there is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.